evening or afternoon. What time is it? Yeah, 12:30. Good afternoon. Today we're finishing the Hildibrand side quest, and possibly doing some Omega Raid stuff. And yeah, let's let's get into it. Ah, if it isn't my trusted associate, back from the field. As you would doubtless have seen for yourself, changes sweeping through Ishgard, and the veil which once threatened to smother the hearts and minds of our people is slowly but surely being lifted. 'Tis as if our fair city has been born anew, and it is in large part thanks to you, which is not to say our problems have come to an end. No, the silent struggle between the lowborn and highborn grows on, growing more fractious by the day. I have come to believe that someone somewhere is fanning the flames of hatred to further their own ends. And I am convinced, now more than ever, that Ullah's sudden disappearance, alongside that of Volume 11 of the Article of Hellenic Polity, is no mere coincidence. Both she and it, after all, were passionate advocates of equality among men. As to who is responsible and what their true intentions might be, I cannot say. Ascertaining these things will no doubt require that we first find the missing girl, and as of this moment, our best hope of learning her whereabouts may rest on discovering the fate of the book. As such, I shall continue searching for any clue which might lead us to the missing tome. In the meantime, I ask that you trouble the students for any information they might have on Ullah. Failing that, find out if they have witnessed any unusual occurrences around this last site. Anything at all. Well then, let us be about it. Even the most seemingly insignificant oddity can be all it takes to crack a case. In any event, there's a good chance that whatever the students have seen or heard will offer us some clues as to the culprit's next move. Blase has been so distracted lately. I'm lucky if I can get a simple good morning from her. Ever since Ola left, she's been rushing out about the city like a mad woman, looking for any information she can on the girl, that she might have an excuse to talk to Theo Messon. It's been quite lonely without Blase around to keep me company. The only real unexpected change I've seen of late is Lay's attitude towards Krembox. He really seems to have warmed to him. Why, he even went so far as to initiate a conversation the other day. He spoke to me, 'tis true, but 'twas not of fondness. He merely hates me very slightly less than he values Ullah's safe return. Don't believe a word of it. Lay's come to fancy Krembox nearly as much as he does Theo Messon. While I cannot claim to have seen anything unusual exactly, I will say that things have not been the same here since Ullah left. Somber doesn't do it justice. One of those seniors told me she'd been diagnosed with something called lung rot, and that she's too weak to attend any of her classes. Thinking back, I did hear her coughing from time to time, but I had no idea it was anything so serious. Gods, I hope whatever she has isn't contagious. I used to sit near her in the library. Welcome back, Mistress Sun. Though the news of Ula's departure yet weighs heavily upon all our minds, I am certain your presence within our hallowed halls will help put a good many hearts to ease. The lessons of Volume 11 seemed to resonate deeply with Ula. She would oft stay up into the small hours reading and rereading them. Mayhap they spurred her to steal away in the night and take up with the revolutionaries. For some, merely to learn is enough. Others, meanwhile, feel compelled to put every teaching into practice. Needless to say, Ula falls under the second category. I only pray her misguided actions do not have any long-term repercussions for the Scholasticate. Though some were shocked by the news of Ula's departure, Baden has worked tirelessly to reassure that the student body that is all for the best. How many times must I say this? Ula was not coerced into leaving, nor was she abducted, nor did she die from a fictitious disease. She quit the Colossi of her own free will for reasons known only to her and the Fury. Really, is it so difficult to understand? I should not complain, I suppose. Since Ula departed, those broom rats have scarce shown their faces here, and the Scholasticate has been much the better for their absence. Were it not for all these infernal rumors, everything would be exactly as it should be. Welcome back, Mistress Sun. What a pleasant surprise it is to see you. How might I be of service of you this day? Theomescent, in the wake of Ula's withdrawal, he and Lei have devoted their every waking moment to the task of uncovering her whereabouts. They are quite adamant that the girl must be found and persuaded to resume her studies here. As a matter of fact, they approached me earlier today to beg leave to travel to Gorgane Mills, claiming that a trip there would yield the information they needed to accomplish their aim. No sooner had I granted their request than they rushed off. Such compassion and eagerness to serve others is a rarity even among the clergy. I cannot tell you how proud I am of what fine young men they have become. I know only that they intended to travel to Gorgon Mills. They left me no time to inquire any further. Okay. And we flying. Oh. Hopefully I don't get internet problems during the stream. Do my eyes deceive me? Surely that can't be you, Yo. What brings you to Gorgon Mills? Yo, is it really you? That we should be reunited thus amid the snowy peaks of Corthias, why it is nothing short of a miracle. I sense the hand of the divine at work. Alone has answered our prayers. Theo, Yo has no idea what you're talking about. By all means explain, but do it slowly and from the beginning. My apologies, excitement got the better of me. Yo, this is the resting place of Father Chosio, the man who found room in his heart for two waifs from the street, granting them the opportunity to rise above their station in life. Do you perchance recall the book that was stolen from Theo and burned by that lost soul we once thought of as a brother? It was one of the last mementos we had of the man. Now all that's left to remind us of him is this place. Indeed, and while we often come here to seek solace and guidance in his blessed presence, today our purpose is more practical. With our search for Ula at an impasse, we had hoped he might grant us inspiration. And that is why I believe our meeting with you here in this hour of need is a sign from above, mayhap the work of Father Chosio himself. I take from this that we are not meant to bear this burden alone, that the other obstacles we face can be surmounted by working in concert with others. Ula's disappearance has thrown the Scholastai into turmoil, and long shimmering mistrust between those of noble and ignoble birth has boiled over into outright hatred. Now more than ever we must seek to join hands with the like-minded souls who understand that this malice will only serve to sow further discord, like-minded souls such as you. I am reminded of words of volume 11 of the Articles of Hellenic Polity. Of the Furies love with all men receive, and by balance of her spear will all be set free. We must strive to love our neighbor even as we love ourselves, just as Helen does. To do otherwise is to defy her will. Yes, and while we will surely be rewarded for our tolerance, the high-born bastards who would sooner pretend that passage doesn't exist won't be so lucky. Why, they may even find themselves on the receiving end of her spear for everything they put us through. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself, aren't I? We still haven't found a single clue as to Ula's whereabouts. Fear not, Lay. With Yo at our side, I have faith that we shall find her, and that she will soon retake her rightful place in the hollowed halls of St. Endam's Scholastai. I hope you're right. At any rate, we've done what we came to do, so there's no point freezing our asses off out here until we meet again, Yo. It pains me greatly to see the nonchalance most of the students here have displayed regarding Ula's disappearance. It seems they are too busy to feel concern for anyone but themselves. A very impious attitude to take, if you ask me. As pupils of the seminary, it is our burden to put others' needs before our own. I too have once checked out volume 11 of the Articles of Polity. When I went to return it, however, I had the misfortune of being spotted by one of our most conservative seniors. After being reprimanded for hours on how the far-fetched notions penned within corrupt the mind, I shan't be caught dead with it again. Until recently, the students paid little heed to Volume 11's existence. It was only once it vanished off the shelves along with Ula that their interest was finally piqued. As one of the few to have leafed through its pages, I am now constantly being besieged with questions. What they fail to realize is that a single sweep of the text does not constitute a deeper understanding of what is written within. Mistress Sun, I trust you were able to find Theomacent and Lei? I see. Yes, the two of them have always shared a special bond with Father Chosiu, one that only seems to have grown stronger with his passing. It is encouraging to see that they have taken their lessons to heart and continue to work so fervently for the good of their fellow students. I fear, however, that a dark and treacherous path lies ahead of them. I only pray that when the time comes, they are ready for whatever challenges await. Mr. Stun, just the woman I was hoping to see. I am sorry to say that a rather disturbing rumor has been circulating around the Scholasticate as of late, one which claims the Archmobaden arranged for Ula to be taken away. That the boy scorns those who favor different interpretations of the scriptures I do not deny, but I labor to believe he would go so far. To engage in such conduct would risk not only his own position as prefect, but the very honor of House Desmel, both of which mean a great deal to him. Regretfully, no one seems to know whence these ridiculous rumors came. They could have been concocted by anyone, and for any number of reasons. In any event, with many still unsure what to make of Ula's sudden withdrawal, these wild accusations have only served to deepen the divide between our seminarians. At this rate, I fear others may decide they no longer wish to remain at the Scholasticate, and so I would be most grateful if you would consent to investigate this matter. Should you oblige my request, I suggest you begin by speaking with Lebressier. I am told he has spent the past few days looking into Ula's activities prior to her departure, likely with the intent to absolve Archmobaden of suspicion. The Vesper will be in the pillars, like as not. He often goes there to ruminate. Look at that tiny little person. Not here. Where are you, man? There you are. Let me guess, you caught wind of the rumors and thought you would come and investigate, yes? Well, I have you know that Archmobaden is innocent. He has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with any of this. This is nonsense. I have known him since childhood. While he might occasionally seem somewhat high-handed, mayhap even callous, he would never do anything to harm anyone. If that is not enough, there is also the fact that in the days and weeks prior to Ula's disappearance, I was not out of his company for more than a few moments. He could not possibly have committed the crime of which he is accused without my knowledge. Whoever orchestrated all of this clearly planned for the blame to fall squarely on his shoulders, that much is certain. Yet, numerous as the enemies of House Dismal are, I struggle to think who would resort to something so underhanded. Unless it was the girl herself, don't you see? What better way to besmirch the good name of one of Ishgard's foremost houses and win over your peers than to vanish and later spread rumors that he was somehow responsible, and then go and plant. That is to say, oh, by the Fury, I pray I am not making a mistake. But first, I would have you swear to tell no one but the inspector what I am about to reveal. I stumbled across volume 11 of the article of Hellenic polity. It had been conspicuously placed in Archmobaden's dormitory room, with Ula's favorite bookmark tucked between its pages. I hardly need to tell you that what would happen if people were to learn of this. 'Tis but a mercy that I chanced upon it and not one more credulous. However, now that we have deduced who the perpetrator is, it should be simple enough to restore Archmobaden's reputation. All we need to do is prove that she and her revolutionary friends are responsible. Were I braver and more foolish a man, I would march down to the broom and demand answers. But you, a hero blessed with the strength of 100, need not fear for your well-being there as I do. You are my only hope. Please, I beg of you, take the book and use it to find the girl and these foul rumors false, and prove these foul rumors false. Okay. Ah, yo, you are returned. Please tell me your inquiries have been more fruitful than mine own. It's the missing volume. However, did you find it? So, the ambassador believes that Ula or one of her revolutionary friends planted it in Archmobaden's room as part of an elaborate scheme to defame House Dasmal. I continue to be amazed by what ridiculous conspiracies these children can convince themselves are true, as if the future of Ishgardian society shall be shaped by the actions of some few ambitious Samaritans. Anyway, I will allow that she may have been consorting with others who supported Reformation, and were she persuaded to engage in rebellious acts, the dormitory prefect would have been an ideal target. Alternatively, Archmobaden was so arrogant and careless that he thought nothing of leaving incriminating evidence in plain sight. He would hardly be the first. Needless to say, speculation will avail us not in this juncture. First, I must see what I can learn from this book. In the meantime, I would have you go and speak with the people of the Broom. See what they know, if anything, about Ula. Where she might have gone, whom she might have visited, and so forth. Failing that, keep your ears open for news of unusual happenings. One can never be too well informed. If a young woman like Ula has spent any time in the Broom, someone is bound to have taken notice. Nevertheless, if you fail to learn aught of value, it may be prudent to ask for the latest gossip. Leave me be. I've got nothing to say to the likes of you. What's that? You think I might have kidnapped some neighbor highborn girl? God's sakes. You and Theo Messent make a fine pair, you do, acting all high and mighty, pretending you care. But the only time you come around is when you're looking for someone to blame. Sorry to disappoint you, but I've got nothing to do with this Ula's disappearance. If you ask me, you'd have better luck harassing those blue bloods in the pillars. After all, they know better than anyone how to deal with inconveniences, eh? Why are you still here? Haven't you bothered me enough for one day? You're not about to ask me to do you a favor, are you? You'll forgive me for being suspicious, but just the other day, a man draped from head to toe in fine silks, approached me all nervous and twitching. He tossed the purse at my feet, saying the gill in it was mine for the taking. All I had to do was head to the Crozier and buy him a couple of pails of cough syrup. Tempting as it was, I wasn't about to risk getting involved in someone's shady schemes. So I told him to piss off, and that was that. Anyone with an ounce of sense would have done the same. There's always a catch, friend, and for that much gill, I reckon it could have been fatal. This guy. I distinctly recall telling you once that my Patreons appreciate their privacy. Still, I know you wouldn't ask if it weren't important, so this time I'll oblige your curiosity. This hasn't got anything to do with your missing girl, mind, but a few days back this one fellow comes and pays his tab in full. A surprising development, as I'd long since written it off as a loss. Came into money, he says, and he has a mind to settle his debts. Pleased as I am by his changing fortunes, all the while I'm wondering who left bleeding in an alley to get that much gill at once. Excellent timing, yo. I have findings to share. While Ula's bookmark suggests that Volume 11 was within her possession at some point, it does not tell us when that point might have been. With this in mind, I decided to pay a visit to the seminary library. Sure enough, her signature was in the logs, indicating that she was the last person to have borrowed the tome. I compared the handwritings to samples from her old assignments to be sure, and found no irregularities. One might argue that this supports Lavoisier's theory, but it is far from conclusive evidence. I suppose you cannot use those vaunted powers of yours to grant us a vision of past and spare us further hardships. I thought not. Then we shall rely on more traditional methods. So what came of your inquiries in the broom? Do tell me. Nothing, but that is to be expected, is it not? Again, I am reminded how ridiculous the two scenarios presented to us of proportioning grand conspiracies truly are. Is it not more likely that both the girl and Archmobaden are innocent of wrongdoings? We must continue searching for more clues. Even the most insignificant tidbit may be all it takes for pieces of this puzzle to fall into place. Seeing how reluctant some of the citizens were to answer your questions, I believe it best for me to take over investigations than the broom. As for you, yes, I'm given to understand that Blase and her friends have been conducting their own investigation. Though I am loath to admit it given the fact that they are Samaritans, I should not be surprised if they have noticed something we overlooked. You may as well go and see what Blase has learned. If you cannot find her at this site, I imagine I can point you in the right direction. Someone can point you in the right direction. Time is of the essence, Yo, for we still cannot discount the possibility that the girl is in danger. This is a question I too would like to know the answer to. It feels as though we haven't spoken in ages. I did, however, overhear some of the other Samaritans say they saw Theomescent at the Ark of Venerable. If so, Blase is certain to be close by. If you hurry, you might still be able to catch them. Oh, what with them both working to bring Ula back, Theomescent and Blase have good reason to spend a great deal of time together. These past few days they've been running around the city making inquiries. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they were up to today. Precisely where they might have gone I cannot say. Mayhap one of the other Samaritans might know. Hasn't she been following Theomescent around like a lost puppy this past fortnight? Find him and you'll probably find her, that's what I say. I don't know how he puts up with it, frankly. I suppose that unlike some of the seniors, he's simply too kind for his own good. Theomescent? I haven't the slightest idea where he could be. Blase, I haven't seen her all day. I expect she's gone out again with her friends to look for Ula. I still don't understand why they bother. The girl's probably off gallivanting about with heretics and revolutionaries. Even if they find her, I doubt she will want to return. I'm sorry I could not be of any help. Rest assured, however, that if I do hear aught of Blase, I shall be sure to tell you. Have you or the inspector managed to deduce anything from the book yet? Pray apprise me of your progress when you are able. Of course, I don't know where she is. While I may be in charge of the dormitory, it is not my responsibility to hold the Samaritans' hands or wipe their asses. As you should well know, in light of recent events, Archmobaden has not the luxury to concern himself with such trivialities. If you're here to ask another Samaritan after another Samaritan, allow me to spare you the trouble. I don't know where anyone is or what they might be doing. Good day. Okay. Yeah, you startled me. I'm here for Ula's sake, lest you wonder. This is all part of my investigation, I swear. Wait, you're not a Samaritan? And yet you seem so familiar. Ah, I know, you're my brother's associate. By brother, you mean? My apologies, Mistress Yo. I suppose we have yet to be properly introduced. I am Blase, Breredan's younger sister. It is a pleasure to finally meet you. So he sent you to see what I've learned? Then I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. I spent all morning questioning merchants, watchmen, and random passerbys, and they told me absolutely nothing of interest. I recorded their statements for good measure, but quite honestly it was a waste of ink and paper. Blase, what are you doing here? Theo, fancy meeting you here. I was just taking a moment to review the testimonies I had taken and thought to, but of course, you then thought to come and share your findings with us. Yes, that's it. While it might be a bit much, I wanted to make sure I did not omit a single word. By the Fury, Blase, this is over 100 frooms long. I cannot even begin to imagine the amount of effort it took to organize all this information. It's incredibly heartening to know that there are others as dedicated as us to seeing Ula return. Now let's have a look, shall we? Investigation Log Entry 1. Master of Ishgardian Markets, Mistress Elize. Problems? Well, with this recent run of bad weather, we've had plenty. Why, just the other day, my back started to give me trouble again, and I've had to hobble from place to place. Investigation Log Entry 2. House 4 Temp Steward, Honorit. I cannot guarantee that this news will be great interest to you and yours, but a 12-point proposal for the reformation of the Inquisition has recently been tabled by Lord Toriel in the House of Lords. That's actually interesting. Investigation Log Entry 10. Weaponsmith, Albert. Ever since the Blue Bastard and his lapdog put an end to the war, profits have plummeted. I've had to sell my best stock for a fraction of its worth just to make ends meet. Investigation Log Entry 21. Cavery, Mustanox. I've barely enough time to fill my customers' orders, much less keep an eye out for foolish. God damn it, Theo, that's enough. None of that rubbish is even remotely relevant. Now, don't you think you're being a touch too hasty? We've not gotten even a third of the way through. We may yet learn something of value. Let's not dismiss Blase's hard work out of hand. Thank you, Theo, for your kind words. I'm glad you think it may be of use. Fine, let us briefly entertain this thought and say something in these notes will help us find Ula. How exactly do you propose that we determine what that is? Lay, we need to do a thing, for though we may lack skill to discern the relevance from the mundane, a certain inspector we know and love is a dab hand at such things, no? But of course, Inspector Buridan. Brilliant idea, Krabenvox. Yo, if you would take this scroll to him and see what he can make of it. I doubt even he could make heads or tails of this rubbish. In any event, it's out of our hands. We should continue with our search. Okay. We meet again. Doubtless you have much to share. I know I do. Do you recall Gilbrandt's patron who recently paid off his debts and the gentleman attempting to attain cough syrups? Upon further investigation, it turns out they share one astoundingly similar facial feature, a pale, raised scar running from the top of their left cheekbone to their jaw. It so happens that this description also matches that of a notorious thug who was known to hang around outside taverns and harass patrons for coin, until an unexpected windfall saw his fortunes vastly improve. He is now rumored to make a living as a traveling merchant, though where he goes, and what he sells, none can say. Though where he goes and what he sells, none can say. We shall find out in due time. But enough of my discoveries. What have you learned? By the Fury, this is longer than some scripture, and she compiled it all in less than a single day, you say? Remarkable. Investigation Log Entry 1. Master of Ishgardian Markets. Mistress Elize. Problems? Well, with the recent run of bad weather, we've had plenty. Why, just the other day my back started to give me trouble again, and I've had to hobble from place to place. On the other hand, the Crozier has seen increased trading in oils, furs, and other goods folks begin to crave when it grows cold, so in that regard I can't complain. Investigation Log Entry 13. Purveyor of Sundries. Past Devet. The other day there was this one fellow who wanted to purchase robes for a young woman. A merchant, he said, but I've never known one who couldn't be bothered to haggle. Not that I minded, of course. Investigation Log Entry 21. Bravery Mestanox. I've barely enough time to fill my customers' orders, much less to keep an eye out for foolish girls getting themselves into trouble. Now, if you would excuse me, I really must be getting back to it. I'm expecting several regular customers any minute. Investigation Log Entry 47. Apothecary. Penne. Mestanox has brought my whole stock of cough syrup every day for the past week, passing strange, needless to say, so I followed him and found that he was reselling my products to another. The nerve of some people, I tell you. A gentleman procuring cough medicines through a third party. That story has a familiar ring to it, does it not? A man with a questionable past, recently come into wealth and playing at being a merchant, who so happens to travel with a young girl prone to fits of coughing. Are you thinking what I'm thinking, yo? Huh. Nope. Perhaps not. It seems to me that Mastonyx appears to be colluding with our man. In time, you may come to understand how I reached this conclusion, but first we must pay a visit to his stall. Okay. How long have I been streaming? About an hour. A little less than an hour. Keep going. Given how poorly this man has covered his tracks, I am inclined to believe that he will come to the Croziers sooner rather than later to procure the usual assortment of goods. Let us head there, yo. We must follow the trail while it is still fresh. Our suspect could have arrived at any moment. Keep your eyes peeled. If he comes this way to purchase food and medicines from Mastnox as frequently as Balze's notes indicate, we shouldn't have long. Yo, over there, that scar with those robes. That's our man. A pleasure to see you again, sir. The usual? Aye, and don't forget the you-know-what. Hurry, yo, we mustn't let him out of our sight. Our suspect just passed through the Ark of the Worthy, where there are like to be fewer people. Take care not to be spotted. It would appear our suspect is not alone. He has a guard with him. I should very much like to know the contents of that carriage. Keep them distracted while I sneak past, will you? Approach them and announce you are here to conduct a surprise inspection. You will undoubtedly command their full attention for a sufficient amount of time. Are you ready, yo? Very good. Okay. One moment, I'll be right back. Hello? Okay, I'm back. Alright. Oh, wait, quotations. Maybe. Maybe quotations. There we go. Inspection? What in the seven hells are you on about? You're no temple knight. You have no rights unless... I trust the goods have been properly secured and the carriage is ready for a quick getaway if necessary. Right then, where were we? Ah yes, we will not be consenting to your inspection. Now kindly piss off. Damn it, boy, what are you doing? My apologies, sir. I thought I saw movement around back. Maybe I should go and check. Idiot, can't you see this goon is intent on starting a fight? Take care of her first and conduct your checks after. As for you, you should have run while you still had the chance. Okay. Yo, it was as we suspected. The thug and his guard have been holding Ula hostage in the back of the carriage ever since she vanished. Though this ordeal has undoubtedly caused her a deal of distress, she does not appear to be physically injured. While you are doubtless eager to question her as I am, she must be given time to rest and recuperate. These two, on the other hand, need not be afforded any such consideration. You there, what is the meaning of this? Ah, it seems all that earlier commotion has drawn the attention of the guards. Excellent, they can deal with the ruffians. I shall escort Ula to the Scholastic dormitory and speak with the instructors. When all has been settled, let us speak again at St. Raymaud Cathedral. You should be glad to hear that Ula will be fine. Sister Gatinel is with her now, tending to her as we speak, her needs as we speak. I expect she will soon be strong enough to answer our questions. Until then, however, we must make do with what information the Temple Knights can extract from the kidnappers. Unfortunately, while the ruffians confessed to abducting Ula in exchange for a large sum of gil, they have told us little ease of value thus far. Apparently, their employer draped themselves in such thick furs that they could not even say if they were a man or woman. They claimed this cloaked figure offered no explanation as to why they wanted them to snatch the girl and keep her confined to the carriage indefinitely. And so they had no choice but to keep moving, to stay ahead of the temple knights and await further instructions. Hopefully, we will learn more as the investigation progresses. I fear, however, our mastermind has cloaked themselves in layer upon layer of secrecy, and it will take more than a few pointed questions to penetrate all of them. But regardless of how well they have hidden their intentions and their identity, we will bring them to justice soon enough. And once we learn all that we can from our friends in the Temple Knights, custody as well as Ula will be that much closer to restoring peace to the Scholastate, to the shine of light truth upon buried secrets in the dark. The children once more come together. They may now know her power and her glory. Wow. Okay. Okay, how long have I been streaming for? A little over an hour. I'm gonna take a break. I'll be right back.